Hey guys, my name's Indubitably Noble, or just Noble for short. I have been playing Moko since it came out, and I finally reached elite level, so I thought I'd take some time to give you guys my opinion on what weapons you guys should be using in Moko. Sorry about my voice, recently got my wisdom teeth removed, so it's gonna sound a bit off. Anyways, so, yeah, let's get on with the video, I guess. So, there are a lot of different weapons in Moko that you can use for a lot of different situations. However, there are just some general weapons I would use the majority of the time. So as you know, when you start playing, you start off with the Monster Slugger. This is a decent weapon, not too good, not too bad. It does its job well. It does area damage and decent damage as well, so you can hit multiple targets. However, because of how close range it is, it does have the problem of survivability at higher levels. So, the next weapon you unlock is the Techno Fists. This is the weapon you're going to want to use until you get the next weapon you unlock. This weapon pretty much just does everything the bat can do and better. It does multiple target damage and it's longer range, so you don't have to worry about survivability as much. It does decent damage as well. The next weapon you unlock is the Wolf Stick. This is the best early game weapon. It does really good damage, and it has a long range as well, so even more survivability. You're also gonna have a Wolf summon as your ultimate, which can get your damage higher and also acts as a defensive shield for you, allowing you to fight more enemies. The next weapon you unlock is the Staff of Good Vibes. Honestly, I'd only use this weapon for projects, or if you're playing with like a team and they need a healer for it. This is the best healing weapon in the game, but honestly, it's just not something a general player should use when soloing in like a map, unless they need to complete a project. Alright, the next weapon you unlock is the Toothpick and Shield. This weapon is kind of similar to the Staff of Good Vibes, but it does have a bit more usability. This weapon is definitely, if you're playing in a team and need a tank, this is the weapon you would use as a tank. And it does piercing damage. It also has a 25% damage reduction to it. So this is a pretty good weapon if you just want to play alone or playing with a team. However, there is definitely other weapons I would choose over it. Alright, the Portable Portal. This weapon is honestly probably one of the worst in the game. Its damage isn't very good, and honestly, the only plus side about it is it allows you to use one of your gadgets for free. Your gear, sorry, for free. And it does area damage, but honestly, if you need an area damage weapon, I just use Techno Fist still. Up to this point, it's still the best area damage weapon in the game, so I would not be using the Portable Portal except for projects. Same thing with the CPU Ball. It's honestly slightly better, I think, than the Portable Portal, but don't take my word for it. You might just have to try that for yourself. I'm sure there are other people who have had a better time with it. Its ultimate is pretty cool. Summons a giant bomb that explodes and does a bunch of damage over a decently large area. But honestly, once again, if you need area damage, I just use the Techno Fist. Alright. So the next weapon you get after this is at level 20, and it is the Speed Shot. This is one of the best weapons in the game. I'd say it's the best long-range weapon in the game. So it does take a while, but once you charge up your bar down here, that's where it gets its name, Speed Shot. It does an insane amount of damage very quickly and from a long range. It is only single shot, however, so you shouldn't try to get into a large group of things because you probably won't be able to kill them all. Alright, but other than that, it is a very good weapon. At level 23, you get the Medicine Ball. Honestly, in my opinion at least, this is the worst weapon in the game. It was really bad in beta as well. Its only upside is that, its ultimate after every third strike allows you to heal. But even then, the Staff of Good Vibes, like I said, is the best healing weapon in the game. Honestly, this weapon is really bad. I just use it to complete your weapon project. And not much more. Next weapon you get at level 25 is the Squid Blaze. This weapon is one of the most broken weapons in the game for one particular reason. It's because of its ultimate. Number one, when it fills up and you dash at an enemy, you do a really large amount of damage. I've gotten it to go all the way up to like 3,000. But that's with other factors as well. Another cool fact about this is when you use it, you become invisible to every enemy. So honestly, I'd use this especially if you have like projects or daily quests where you need to find a specific enemy. This allows you to run around the map completely invisible to all your other enemies, meaning you can just find what you need very quickly and not have to worry about everything else. Final weapon you get before elite level is the Spinsicle. This weapon is like the Speed Shot of close range multi-target weapon. The reason it's like the Speed Shot is because you have to charge up your tank. The bar once again has to fill up, and once it does, you can do an even larger amount of damage. Sorry about the lag. This weapon's damage is crazy, in the thousands of damage. I haven't been able to get it to 3,000, but I did get it really close. So yeah, that's my take on the weapons in Moko currently, and those are the ones I would recommend using and the ones I would recommend staying away from as you try to get to elite level. So yeah, thanks, bye.